Good morning and welcome to episode 2 of the Minicut series. Today is day number 7. It has been a full week since I recorded that first video. It is now Tuesday, August 24th. We just arrived to the gym and I finished up my pre-workout from Clout Power. Code Caleb10 for 10% off. Today I'm going to show you all my workout. We're going to talk about the progress I've made thus far, and I'm also going to give you a short guide to Minicuts in case you want to run one for yourself or you just want to learn more about Minicuts. But before we can do any of that, we got to get inside and we got to smash this workout. Another solid workout this morning. It's still dark outside. It's about 6:30. Sun is just coming up. So I've been running a full body split for about 6 weeks now, I think it is. I honestly don't know how long it's even been. But pretty much my whole life, I've ran a push-pull leg split. That's always been my favorite split. And I wanted to try something new. And full body was something I honestly didn't think I would ever do, which is why I wanted to give it a try. So I did some research, wrote myself a program, tried it for a couple of weeks, altered it a little bit, and now I think I've really found a solid program that I really enjoy, and it's been so much fun. But now that we got our day started on the right foot, finishing up the workout, time to get home, get cleaned up, and cook meal number 1. Before we get into meal number 1, let's do a quick physique and weight check. Not a big difference from last week. Now, if I remember correctly, a week ago at the start of this mini cut, I believe I was also 188.2 pounds. But that's not to say that the mini cut has not been working or I haven't been following it. Although I will say this past weekend, it was one of my buddy's birthdays. We went out on the town, I had a couple drinks, and I may or may not have had a cheat meal. Now, that does not mean that all has gone to waste. I'm currently using the Renpho Smart Scale, and I really enjoy it because it allows me to hook up to my phone and I can track all of my data. I can see my weight, my body fat percentage, my muscle mass, all of that data. It may not be the most accurate, but it's also good for reference. So take a look at this trend line. If we see at the start of the week, I was about 188.2 pounds and my weight was slowly decreasing, and then we have this big spike. That was on Sunday, the night after I had those drinks, had a cheat meal. So I was definitely holding a lot more water than what I was the previous couple of days. But what you can also see from the trend line is that my body is getting back to normal now and I'm settling back into my weight. Over these next couple of days, I know that my weight is going to continue to decrease as long as I stay on track. Speaking of staying on track, it's time to cook meal number 1. For meal number 1, I'm going to be going with protein oats this morning. So I got my oats, I have my protein, which this is honestly just something I picked up at HEB because I was running low on my PE science. It's actually really delicious and the macros are pretty good. 100 calories per scoop, 25 grams of protein, less than 1 gram of carb, and 0 grams of fat. I'm also going to throw in a serving of PB Fit, some blueberries, and some good old Mrs. Butterworth sugar-free syrup. You know, protein oats are just so simple and it's such a good breakfast. I mean, who wouldn't want to eat that? Protein oatmeal, it tastes amazing, it keeps me full until lunchtime, And it's perfect for getting some protein in after the workout and replenishing my glycogen storages after the workout. So in my bowl of oatmeal, I have 1 serving or half a cup of oatmeal, 1 scoop of protein, half a cup of blueberries, 1 serving of PB Fit, and then drizzle on top with the sugar-free syrup. All in all, this bowl comes out to 357 calories, 38 grams of protein, 44 grams of carb, and only 4 grams of fat. So a great way to start the day, and definitely kicking off my nutrition for the day. I also had that Rice Krispie treat before my workout, which was about 90 calories and 17 grams of carbs. Now you guys might be asking yourself, what is a mini cut? Essentially, a mini cut is an aggressive fat loss diet. It typically lasts anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks with 0.75% to 1.25% of your body weight as the target weight for weight loss each week. That was a mouthful. I gotta finish breakfast and then get to work, so when I check back in with you guys for meal number 2, we'll talk about why somebody would want to do a mini cut. It is finally time for meal number 2. I am hungry. And on the menu today, we got some good old meal prep ground beef and rice. Meal number 2, and this has been an absolute staple in my diet. 6 ounces of ground beef, 1 serving of jasmine rice, and about 2 cups of the vegetable stir fry that I just throw in the pan. Everything else is in the microwave. I've had this for lunch almost every single day over the last week, and meal prep has made it so much easier. I'm also gonna top this with some organic coconut aminos from Trader Joe's. This is really delicious, and this is 20 calories per 15 milliliters, whatever a milliliter is. In this bowl is 478 calories, 43 grams of protein, 47 grams of carbs, and 12 grams of fat. Typically throughout the day, I'll eat roughly 3 meals, maybe a snack, and then usually a protein shake before I go to bed. And what I'm trying to make sure I do is prioritize protein in every single meal. Now that I've cut my calories back quite a bit, I want to hold on to as much muscle as possible, so protein is very important. I'm gonna quick eat this, and then I'm gonna take y'all on a little walk. You didn't think I was taking you on a real walk, did you? That's one thing I've been trying to do more of, is go for more walks, ensure I get at least 10,000 steps per day, and a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, make sure I go do a true cardio session at the gym, walking on the treadmill, elliptical, whatever I'm feeling. Usually it's just the treadmill. So let's quick talk about why somebody would want to do a mini cut. There's really 2 main reasons why anybody would want to do a mini cut. We've already said a mini cut is an aggressive fat loss diet, typically only lasting about 2 to 6 weeks. The first reason somebody might want to do a mini cut is because they want to potentially increase their muscle gains or make their next mass gaining, muscle gaining phase better. So if you've been putting on muscle, gaining weight for an extended period of time, you've probably put on a little bit of body fat, and you may not like that. So you want to take away some of the body fat while maintaining as much muscle as possible. And because during a mini cut, we are going to reduce the amount of calories we're eating while also reducing our training volume, our bodies are going to be resensitized when we start to introduce more food and more volume of training, potentially making the next muscle building phase better. The second reason somebody might choose to do a mini cut is for temporarily improved appearance. Let's say you have a vacation coming up, a big event, and you want to look your best. Again, maybe you've been in a muscle building phase for a little while, you've put on some body fat, and you're trying to strip all of that away, and let's say you only have 4 weeks. A mini cut is one strategy for trying to lose as much body fat as possible in that short period of time. However, this is going to be much more aggressive than the first example. The first example is going to be much more systematic and have more thought put into it, while the temporarily improved appearance is essentially just cut your calories and go. Your training is also going to be sacrificed because of that, so keep that in mind. So 2 different reasons for choosing to do a mini cut, both with the goal of losing body fat. However, one is a little more thought out and more strategically implemented than the other. You guys are really seeing me in like half my wardrobe today. But took a quick break from work because I got hungry. So I'm gonna have a little snack, and I'm gonna have one of these pure protein bars. There's so many protein bars out there, and I can never really decide which one I like the best. I'm a big fan of the ones from Costco, but these are actually not bad. 200 calories, 7 grams of fat, 17 carb, and 20 grams of protein. So I'm gonna snack on this, finish up the rest of the workday, and then when I come back, we'll talk about how to go about doing a mini cut. Now that the workday is done, we can get into the mini cut guide 101. Essentially, what to do if you wanna run a mini cut for yourself. Now we've already talked about the 2 different reasons why you would wanna run a mini cut. If you wanna potentially increase your muscle size and make your next muscle building phase better, or temporarily improved appearance. Now for both of these reasons, you're gonna reduce your training volume, you're gonna reduce the amount of calories that you're eating, but to increase your muscle gain, it's gonna be much more strategic, as the temporarily improved appearance is a much more aggressive form of fat loss. So depending on whichever one of these you fall under, this is what I recommend doing. The mini cut should last anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. You should aim for a weight loss target per week of 0.75% to 1.25% of your body weight. Now, typically we hear in the fitness community that 1 pound of body weight per week is a healthy rate for fat loss. So you'll see that 0.75% to 1.25% is not equal to 1 pound. That's what makes a mini cut far more aggressive than an average cutting diet. Now you're gonna be acquiring a lot of fatigue just for the sake of reducing calories, so you're gonna wanna reduce your training volume as well, not to fatigue yourself anymore or to potentially injure yourself. Now if you're running a mini cut for the sake of improving your next muscle building phase, reducing your training volume is gonna resensitize your muscles when you return to your normal training in a couple of weeks. And then lastly, you're gonna reduce the amount of calories that you're eating. So with that in mind, this is what I recommend you do not do if you choose to run a mini cut. Don't run a mini cut for any less than 2 weeks. At that point, it's pointless, it's not even worth it. But also don't go any more than 6 weeks, as this is pretty aggressive. Aggressive fat loss like this is not sustainable in the long term, which is why we recommend don't going any longer than 6 weeks. A mini cut is not the same as a regular diet for weight loss. 1 pound per week is usually a pretty healthy rate to aim for. Even you could go as little as half a pound per week and you'd still be in good shape. And then lastly, if you choose to run a mini cut and you wanna be a little more aggressive, don't exceed that 1.25% target each week. That was a mouthful. It's time for dinner. And if you know me, I love breakfast food more than anything. So tonight we're doing breakfast. You already knew I was gonna top the eggs with some sugar-free ketchup and some Frank's Red Hot, because I love some heat. So in this meal, I have 2 whole eggs, 100 grams of egg whites, 1 serving of the deli ham, handful of spinach, 1 serving of the fat-free cheddar cheese, and then 1.5 servings of the Kodiak cakes, which I'm gonna top with some Mrs. Butterworth. In total, this meal comes out to be 598 calories, 56 grams of protein, 58 grams of carbs, and 14 grams of fat. I just started running the dishwasher, so there's gonna be an annoying humming sound in the background. Finished up dinner, and I'm gonna cap off the night with a protein shake. I got the PE Science Select Frosted Chocolate Cupcake Protein. It is delicious. That is gonna be my last meal of the day. So final macros for the day came out to be 1,753 calories, 181 grams of protein, 167 grams of carbs, and 40 grams of fat. That is basically exactly where I want to be, and that is what I'm gonna try to aim for these next couple of weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can stick around for more videos. Hit the notification bell so that you can get reminded whenever I post my next video. And don't forget about the content jar. If you guys want to put your questions and comments in the jar, make sure you comment down below so I can add it to the jar and I can give you a shout out in my next video if your topic gets pulled. But with that, I'm gonna wrap up the night. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all for the next check-in. Oh yeah, make it a great day on purpose.